Now, our chief correspondent, Kaveh Solokol, has joined Merce, Nathan and I on the sofa. Kaveh, welcome. So then, moving away from the manager, let's say, how much pressure are the Chelsea owners under this season?
It's a good question. Look, I don't think they themselves feel like they're under any pressure at all. They've got this sort of long-term plan, which is to win the title. Yeah. And also win the Champions League with Chelsea. And they think it's going to take a few years. It's not going to happen instantly, which is why they've been signing young players who are going to develop. But that is the goal, and they're convinced that they're going to get there. But it's not going to happen overnight. Now, I think the problem they have is that a lot of Chelsea supporters are used to having instant success. Some Chelsea supporters are not going to be patient. They are used to having the best players, signing the best players in the world, having the best managers in the world. And effectively what the owners are saying to them is, this is a new way of doing things, and you just have to trust us that we are going to get it right. And we've got to move away from the model of having somebody like Roman Abramovich putting money into the club. Because of the financial regulations, you can't do that anymore.
Do you think it's stability is what they're looking for, and maybe, like, just as you say, giving that project time, if you can say that? But I mean, if they're looking for that, they haven't got that many senior players. But today, Reece James, brand new deal. I mean, what did you make of the timing of the deal? That's my main thing, right? It's like yes, it's all come out today, but it's very convenient it's come out at this moment.
I mean, I can understand why you're being cynical.
Well, I'm just curious.
If I worked in communications or PR, I would say that the reason it was announced today was because Chelsea have had a tough week. And they've got a big game against Newcastle tomorrow, and then they've got PSG again. So instead of having a news conference today with the head coach being dominated by problems off the pitch, why don't we announce the fact that our captain has signed this new deal? And we'll announce it early on Friday morning, and then we'll put him up at the press conference as well. So let's get the good news out there. I think perhaps that's what's happened behind the scenes. I'm not sure. But
by the way, a lot of clubs do that.
I wouldn't be surprised. A
lot of clubs. Arsenal, look, let's be real here. Arsenal drew to Wolves, and then 2 days later, Saka a new deal. Like it happens.
And let's be honest. This has been a big week for Chelsea.
Yeah, of course.
It's been a big week for Reece James. They played away at PSG, knockout game in the Champions League. Me being cynical, I would say that this week is not the week where he's been sitting down with his lawyers and his agent looking at the contract and saying,
so it's probably been done a couple of weeks before. Yeah.
You said it, not me.
No, but it looks that way, Well, it could have been done at the beginning of the season, who knows? Merce, I'll come to you just really quickly. We were talking about, with the manager, with Rossini, I was asking about the goalkeeping situation, and obviously the fact that still, to me, I'm not a Chelsea fan, but it doesn't feel like there's a specific number one. I don't know. When I look at that team sheet, I don't know if I'm going to see, Jorgensen or if I'm going to see Sanchez. I mean, what do you think he should do this weekend?
Wow, I don't know.
But given Jorgensen's gone in PSG, he's played that game.
Yeah, he played that. He's being asked to play a certain way. He's being asked to pass the ball out. It's the manager asking him to do that. He's not doing that off his own thing. They want to play out. And I played with Dennis Bergkamp. He couldn't have found that pass.
Yeah.
There's times to play it. My worry is keep on changing the goalie. You've got to have a goalie. I don't know anybody in the world who's ever won anything by swapping goalkeepers. You have one goalkeeper, he's your main man. Good goalkeepers save you points. Bad goalkeepers lose you points.
Who would be yours then?
I would probably go with Sanchez. I think Sanchez is... They both got rickets in them. They both make mistakes. They make you very, very nervous. Sitting in a Matthew Harding end, they make you nervous. But he's a better shot stopper. Sanchez, in my opinion. But that makes me laugh, because that's like me saying to you and go, what was Nathan like? Good feet. Well, of course you'd have good feet. You're a footballer. You know what I mean? You should
I know what you mean.
But why was Sanchez dropped? The timing of it was...
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I thought the goalkeeper, as Liam said, the goalkeeper done well for 75 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a 90-minute game.
Yeah.
The top goalkeepers are 90 minutes. I played with David Seaman, Peter Schmeichel. They stand there, they don't do anything, and then they make a worldly save out of nothing. I just think they need to go out and get a top goalkeeper. That should be their priority. When he's saying wait till the summer, I think they have to get a world-class goalkeeper. No one ever wins anything without a top goalkeeper.
You know what? I think they'll get a goalkeeper this summer.
Yeah.
But I think the goalkeeper will be...
Come on, who are they going to get?
I think...
So it gets good.
I think it'll be Mike Penders, who they already own, who's on loan at Strasbourg. And Liam Rossinio has worked with him before, and obviously, you know, he's somebody who knows...
Big step, no?
Well, he's supposed to be one of the best young goalkeepers in Belgium. I think he could have a similar kind of impact to the impact Senne Lammens has had at Manchester United. But I don't think Chelsea fans will be happy with that, because a lot of them will be saying what Mercer's saying, is that we want the best. You know, why do we keep buying these projects? Why do we keep buying players who may come good in a few years' time?
Yeah.
We should be buying the best in class right now because we're Chelsea.
Yeah, I think I had to say in that interview as well, I did have to mention to Liam that I have been really impressed, you know, just as a fan, about how he's done coming into this job where there is so much noise. It is a huge job. And he has, you know, with respect to Strasbourg, going into Chelsea is a massive, you know, thing. And I think he's handled it quite well. And I think the results, if you actually look at them, he hasn't done that bad. I mean, Nath, do you think that he's maybe just a big scalp away from Chelsea fans going, oh, no, he's the real deal?
I think he's just different, isn't he, in terms of a personality and what you've kind of seen, what you touched upon in terms of the Abramovich years and the type of managers that we're in. They come with this big personalities, as well as being tactically sound and great man managers. They've also been big personalities, and I think maybe he's just a little bit of a different personality which we're not used to seeing on screens and interviews, so it might just take a little bit of time for everybody to get used to, with, you know, we don't know how much time a lot of managers have, because it's very short-lived, but I think he's just very different, and how he comes across. The biggest speaking point for how he is as a manager and as a person will be from the guys that are working with him every day in the change room, at the training ground, and to people in the staff at the training ground that see him every day, how he is as a person, not just how he is as a football coach.
Do you? I mean, that win against Villa was big, but Mercer, do you feel like he needs maybe a win against City or something like that to kind of get that backing?
I think he's done all right.
Yeah.
I mean, bread and butter, he's lost to Arsenal 3 times, which, you know, really can't happen. Yeah. But take away that and a couple of last-minute goals here and there, you know, being 2-0 up against Leeds last minute. But Burnley, I think he's done all right. Yeah. But you can't go to PSG, be in the game at 2-2 with 15 minutes to go and then be out the cup tie. That cannot happen. You've got to be shrewd enough to go. We come out of here no worse than 3-2. And if it gets to 4-2, it never, ever gets to 5. That didn't happen. That's a problem.
There you go. Carve, thank you so much for joining us. So the Saturday night football comes from Stamford Bridge. Chelsea against Newcastle is live from 5 o'clock.
Is Chelsea's next #1 goalkeeper already at Strasbourg? Premier League Friday. A fascinating question is beginning to circulate around Chelsea FC. Could their future #1 goalkeeper already be playing in France with sister club RC Strasbourg? With the two clubs connected through the BlueCo ownership group, Strasbourg has quietly become an important development pathway for Chelsea's young talent. And one player attracting serious attention is Serbian goalkeeper Đorđe Petrović, a goalkeeper rebuilding his reputation. After joining Chelsea from MLS side New England Revolution, Petrović initially impressed with his shot-stopping ability and calmness under pressure. However, the competition for places at Stamford Bridge intensified, particularly with Spain international Robert Sánchez also fighting for the starting spot. A move to Strasbourg has allowed Petrović to play regular first-team football again, and he has taken that opportunity brilliantly. In Ligue 1, the Serbian goalkeeper has been one of Strasbourg's most consistent performers this season. His reflex saves, command of the penalty area, and ability with the ball at his feet have caught the attention of scouts and analysts across Europe. Why Strasbourg matters to Chelsea? The relationship between Chelsea and Strasbourg is not just a coincidence. Under BlueCo's multi-club model, the French side acts as a strategic development environment for players who need minutes before stepping into the pressure of the Premier League. It means performances in France are being monitored closely by Chelsea's recruitment staff and coaching team. For goalkeepers in particular, consistent playing time is crucial. Instead of sitting on the bench in England, Petrović has been facing high-quality opposition every week, exactly the experience Chelsea hope will accelerate his development. Could he replace Chelsea's current #1? The big question is whether Petrović could return to London ready to challenge for the number 1 shirt. Chelsea have struggled for long-term stability in the goalkeeper position in recent years. While Robert Sánchez has shown flashes of quality, the club continues to evaluate its options moving forward. If Petrović continues his strong performances at Strasbourg, he could return not just as a squad option, but as a genuine contender to start at Stamford Bridge. The bigger picture. Chelsea's strategy of developing players through Strasbourg may become increasingly important in the coming years. Young talents can gain experience in a competitive European league without the intense scrutiny that comes with playing in England. And if Petrovic's progress continues at the same rate, Chelsea might already have their next number 1, just currently wearing a Strasbourg shirt.